not going out to any kind of a presidential candidate or any politician for the purpose of this video today. I am not cutting my hair.
And my armpits are sweating. First day of school. Nah, I'm cool like that, dog. So you find yourself in a pickle. You want to film, but there's a worldwide pandemic going on, and your friends won't answer their phone. Trevor, please answer your phone. What do? Well, you film yourself, of course. These are my 5 tips on filming yourself. As long as your camera can record video and your tripod doesn't fall over every time, that's all you really need. That's step 1. Step 2 is audio. For this video, I used this Zoom H1N to externally record all my audio, but the SD card failed, so I ended up using Epidemic Sound for the sound design. If you don't have an external recorder or a subscription, you can use the scratch audio right off the camera. Just make sure you're monitoring your levels so nothing's peaking. So I didn't speak on why audio is so important. It really helps you immerse yourself in the scene as a viewer. If I'm like skateboarding, you can hear the wheels moving and grinding on the ground, or if I'm typing a paper, let's say, you can actually see and hear that I'm typing rather than, oh, he's typing. So it really puts the viewer in the actual scene itself, and that's really important. It's like half the viewing experience. So, step 3. To make filming yourself go a little bit smoother, using the rule of thirds helps a lot when you're trying to figure out your composition. Your camera should have the option to allow you to have a grid on the back of your screen. This will help you decipher where you should place your subject in your frame. I split the frame up into 2 sections, the wall and the stairs. In this scene, there's leading lines, the stairs, pointing the viewer towards the subject, me. In this scene, I place myself in the center of the frame. These 2 pillars on each side of me helps the viewer distinguish depth and direction towards the subject. We discuss what camera gear you need, your camera, tripod, audio, the composition, so where you should place the subject in the frame, but how are you going to focus on that subject with the camera you're using? While filming yourself, use manual focus. It'll help you keep the subject in focus rather than having the mishaps of missing focus, having pulsing happening that autofocus systems tend to have. Although your camera may have really good autofocus, it can still move and pulse in different directions that you don't want it to happen. So to avoid this, I would stick with manual focus. There was one shot that I used autofocus, and that was when I was skating towards the camera. I wanted it to rack focus on my face, and my Canon does a really good job with that, so I just trusted it. Also, I think I was at like f/16, so it's kind of hard to miss focus when you're at such a high aperture. Although shooting wide open is really cool, it's sometimes really hard to set focus on the subject, so shooting at a higher aperture will allow you to make sure that your subject stays in focus. So you don't accidentally mess up a shot and stay consistent, just use manual focus. It'll make your life so much easier. And before you say, well, the pros use autofocus, you're wrong. I mean, most cinema cameras don't even have autofocus, so. My 5th and final step, and honestly one of the most important in my opinion, shot diversity. Due to little camera movement, you need to keep your audience engaged in your video. So how do you do that? Because your camera's on a tripod and there's no movement in the scene, having large shot diversity will enhance your film. Take this scene for instance. I used 3 different shots to show the audience that I was moving locations. Here's the scene with only 1 shot. Here's the scene with all 3 shots. Your audience will be more engaged and will have a larger understanding of what's happening in the scene. A basic rule I set for myself is 3 to 5 shots per. So for instance, if I was getting out of a car, I would show me opening the door, getting out, having my feet hit the ground, closing the door, and walking away. And that's 6 shots right there. That gives the audience a lot more information, and it's a lot more pleasing to the eye rather than 1 shot of just getting out of a car. With these 5 different steps, just go out and film. It doesn't really matter if you have the best camera, the best audio, a great tripod as long as it doesn't fall over. Just go out there, enjoy yourself, and learn. I still have a lot to learn, as you can tell. I spent like a long time trying to grade this video, and it looks just like it's straight at a camera. I messed white balance up on a few things. The audio isn't that great, but I'm still learning. And I still made this video. What was that? As always, I post every single, what am I doing? Like, putting my, okay. As always, I post every single Friday, so stay tuned for next week. Live your life, guys. Have fun. We'll see you next time. That's a wrap, everybody. Good job. Good job, Bill. Good job.